Rock out, okay? Gonna rock out. I wanted to ask this question real quick. I was listening to a brother on YouTube, content creator by the name of Hitchbox. I think you guys know him as the Black Rabbit. So I was listening to him, and he was kind of giving a rundown on kind of like things that he believed to be going on YouTube. And I can honestly say that I definitely can understand where he was coming from, and I definitely thought, some of the things that the points that he was making was definitely legitimate, or whatever case may be. You guys just coming in, salute to y'all, making some breakfast, so I'm gonna be moving around. But he was making some legitimate points on some things that he felt that was going on here on YouTube, and I said, you know what? I said some things he was kind of saying, it got me to thinking, like, is our expectations too high of black men? Like, are our expectations too high of black men? Like, I noticed that, sometimes people get into position because of their perspective, because of their status, just because sometimes they're at the right place at the right time. And my question was, like, is our expectations too high of black men? Like, you can have the potential, but that don't mean that you have the experience. It's almost like if anybody plays sports, you play sports or whatever case may be, and you play for junior varsity, and the coach decided to say, okay, I'm gonna bring you from junior varsity up to the varsity team or whatever case may be. Now, here it is, you have the potential, but you don't have the experience. So that's what I wanted to ask. Do you think that sometimes we make people that we deem has the potential, but not necessarily the potential, not necessarily the experience? Do you think that we kind of fall short on putting people in position that shouldn't be in position? And I think that was one of the things that I felt that the Black Rabbit was kind of hitting on, that a lot of people has fallen short in those areas. And I think when you take leadership, you got to look at a few things, right? You got to look at, are people ready to be leaders? Did they sign up for that though? And that's really the problem. I think the real problem is that we're under the impression that everybody wants to lead, and that's far from the truth. I remember in the military, I had some soldiers. I had this one particular soldier, and I was like, hey, get out in the front, and march them down to the chow hall. And this soldier was just so shook, like, and I'm like, hey, you got a great voice, a great posture, a great demeanor about you. I can see the potential in you, but they just was not ready to lead. Well, I just wanted to put them in position. I believed in them enough. Like, it was something about them that said, hey, you're a good leader. I believe that you have the look. I believe that you have the sound, but they didn't have the experience. They didn't have the tenacity to want to do it. And I think that's the problem that we have with a lot of people, is that they don't want to be leaders. They don't want to stand out in the front. They just want to give their opinion. They just want to give their perspective. And a lot of times we force people into positions. And that was one of the things that I wanted to kind of say, because maybe that's what we've been getting wrong. Maybe that's what we've been getting wrong here on YouTube. Because a lot of people say, why is it that we force people into positions because we want them to be in position? We want them to speak for us. Like, you take the Kwame Brown situation in regards to saying, You know, how many people forced him into a position that he never signed up for? Like I hear that kind of repeatedly nowadays. It's like, you know, we thought you were going to do this and we thought you were going to do that and you should have did this and you should have did that. But I guess the real question is, did he sign up for it? Did he sign up for it? Did he say, hey, I'm here to save, Black America. I'm here to save, the community. I'm here to do this. Or was he just giving his perspective? Was he just venting? And I think that's what we do a lot of. We put people in positions that don't want to be in positions, but because we have our expectations of what they should be doing. Now, don't get me wrong. You kind of, when you kind of see potential in people, you kind of feel free to be like, oh, well, since you have a voice, we're going to put you in this position. Since you have a platform, we're going to put you in this position. Since you have a status, we're going to put you in this position. But here's the thing. Just because you want somebody to be in a position don't mean they're ready for that position. And I think that we're all kind of guilty of that. And as I was listening to the content creator kind of speaking the things that he was saying, I was kind of like, well, I think once somebody showcases that they don't want to be in a certain position, you gotta move around, because it's frustrating when you can see the potential in someone, but they don't see the potential in themselves, or they don't care to do it. They don't care to. I don't know why I'm making all this bacon. I'm messing around. I'm making bacon for y'all too. They don't care to do it, and I think that's what kind of messed us up with this situation on how we looked at everything overall. Are Black men being forced to uphold standards? Are Black men being forced to uphold obligations, expectations from people that should be doing the things themselves? Good question. You guys just tuning in. I'm making some breakfast, so you gotta excuse me. I'm moving around a little bit, but I'll stop in a minute. So yeah, that was my understanding of the video. That we as people, we as the community, we force people into positions that they're not ready for. We sit back and we say, hey, this is a great position for you. Not that you wanted to be in that position, not that you signed up, that you volunteered, is that we have set back as the community. We've set back as bystanders. We've set back as cheerleaders almost, and said, you know what, you'll be great for this position. We put Derek Jackson in that position. We put Charleston White. We put Hassan Campbell. We put anybody that had a perspective that we thought should be elevated, that we should get behind. And at some point in time, it was like, yeah, we all on board. And then something happened where things got derailed or shaken up or a misunderstanding. And then now it's kind of like, well, you're not who we thought you were. You're not the person we wanted you to be. You're not the leader we needed. And I hear the same thing from every man that gets put in that position. I didn't sign up for that shit. Who told you I wanted that shit? Who told you I wanted to be in that position? You put me in that position. Yeah, you saw potential in me. Kudos. Great. But I ain't signed up for it. I hear the same thing from the men that those expectations get put on. Who told you that I wanted to be a leader? Who told you that you could trust me to carry the burden of being the voice? I think that we all kind of got into a situation where it's like, when you feel voiceless, or you feel like you want collectively to be heard. Salute. You want collectively to be heard. you get into a point where it's just like, okay, well, this is the person that's going to represent us. And a lot of times, especially we as black people, we definitely, anytime we can get into a position where we feel like this is our strength, this is the person we're going to rally behind because this is our best chance of being heard. This is our best chance of somebody taking our situation serious. And of course, everybody likes an underdog, or everybody likes someone bold enough to kind of take the blunt of the force, take the blunt of the attack. And I think that was a situation with the Kwame Brown situation. I feel like there was a lot of people who was inspired by his story. And then while he had your attention, he was kind of breaking down some other things. But I'm going to be honest with you. What happened was we as people, as humans, we elevated him to a status that he probably didn't want to be on, to be honest with you. And I think that we got to take a step back and look at what we did, and because we do that on a regular basis. Anybody who comes out with some type of narrative or some type of, let me say X, Y, and Z, I think that we are quick to be like, well, let me put you in the front. Let me put you out front. And I think that we force people to be leaders who really just want to have a perspective, who really just want to say something, who really just want to get some things off their chest. That don't mean that they want to kind of stand out front and lead anyone, and I kind of think we may have missed the mark on that. And I was listening to the Black Rabbit, and I was listening to him break down chronologically the things that he feel is kind of wrong. We don't have a lot of Ryder. What's going on? Salute. Good morning. Break down, getting my grass cut. So if you hear that, that's what that is. But listen to him kind of break down what he feels is going on that's wrong. We want black men, or we want men in general to be leaders, providers, and protectors, right? And role models, right? And we got this expectation that they need to be doing it on and off social media. The fact of the matter is, everyone on social media, they don't have that same tenacity. They don't have that same need to lead. It's about to get loud. It's about to get loud. I'll just wait till they finish. Hold on. Let me see. It's about to get loud. Today is yard day. Today is yard day. Anyway, salute to everybody coming in. Hopefully, you guys have a great morning. Me and myself came back from the gym earlier. I'm trying to make me some breakfast real quick. But again, like I said, I was listening to Hitchbox, the Black Rabbit, and I was like, yeah, I get where you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from. I definitely get it. I think the big thing for me is it's like we put expectations on people based on the potential we see in that person. However, it doesn't mean that person wants to be wherever we try to put them, whatever pedestal, whatever status. It doesn't mean that they volunteered to do that. And I think that's the problem that we have, especially as a community. We ordain certain things to certain people. Now, again, do I want to look to my left or right and see my brother or to my left or right? Do I want to see them prosper? Do I want to see them do great things? Yes. Do I want to see them build and go forth and be great fathers and citizens and all? Hell yeah. But I think I have to be mindful that just because I have a background in X, Y, and Z, they may not have that same background. Just because I have an urgency and an affinity to live my life to the fullest and be optimistic doesn't mean the man beside me has that same level of optimism. They might be pessimists. You never know. So I think that it goes the same thing on social media. You might want people to be like, hey, let's talk about some topics that really matter or whatever case be. And whereas they'll be like, well, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about this because this is X, Y, and Z. And you got to think about it. A lot of people are living vicariously through YouTube. They're living vicariously through social media. You can come to social media and be whoever you want to be. Whatever you want to be. When in real life, it's not as easy. When real life, you may need an education to get to that particular status. Whereas on social media, you can pretend. Like I can put I don't have no pimp mug, but I can put a pimp mug here and then start talking a bunch of slick, crazy stuff. Now I'm a pimp, right? I can flash a bunch of cash or whatever case may be and say, hey, I'm rich. So on social media, you can be whoever you want to be. And I think that a lot of us, to be honest with you, especially when it's a big event, like it's time to speak out against something. It's like, okay, well, with the George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, when it's time to speak out against somebody, it's almost the person with the biggest platform. It's almost like, okay, what are you going to say? And if you say something that I would say at my level, it's like, okay, yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, you own it. You own it. And that's how a lot of people kind of rally behind certain people and certain platforms, because they feel like you're speaking my language. You're speaking to me. You're speaking for us. The issue with that is sometimes you could just stumble into a situation where somebody says something that resonates with you. Doesn't mean that your expectations to continue that particular. See, here's the thing. There are people that are leaders all the time, and there are people that fall into positions where leadership is required. Let me say that again. There are people that are leaders all the time, and then again, there are people that fall into leadership positions accidentally. And I think for a lot of people, a lot of men on social media, they fell into a leadership position, and now we as people, we expect them to be consistent. We expect them to lead all the time. And I'm gonna be honest with you, even leaders, ordained leaders, or accidental leaders, they get tired. And I think that you see a lot of frustration. And when I sit back and I kind of look at some things, I see a lot of frustrated leaders. I see a lot of people that says, hey, I didn't ask for this. You made me, you put me here. I didn't ask to be here. I didn't ask to be, the voice of the people. So I was listening to Hitchbox, and as I was listening to him, I was saying, who is it, the person that got put in the leadership position or put on the pedestal? Are they to blame, or the people that put them there to blame? I'm gonna let y'all think about that for a second. Oh yeah, we cooking over here. Got some bacon in the oven. But I think that's a good point. I'm gonna tag some people because I'm kind of curious on what they think about that. Are the expectations for black men too high? And why is it that we're so eager to have people speak for the community? Why is it not a one shot, one kill thing? That means if I got an opinion about racism and I come on here and I say something about racism, let's say 100 people like it, right? Like. Do I now become the voice for black people and racism? Do I now become the martyr for black people and racism? So I think we have to take everything for face value and realize that everything's a season. Just because I speak out on this and I have a opinion or a perspective about this doesn't mean I want to volunteer to be the people's champ. And I think a lot of people that we don't have that mindset to be like, okay, they're just giving their perspective, but that's what it is. It's like we want them now to voice, to stand, to fight for everybody. And I'm just telling you from how I see it, I just see a lot of people frustrated because we expect them to be superheroes when they just regular people. Hell, you hear it all the time. Hey, I'm just a regular person. I'm just a regular person. But we want them to be superheroes because we believe for some that the black community is missing superheroes. The black community is missing somebody powerful enough to change the narrative, somebody powerful enough to voice their opinion. That's why you got Derrick Jackson. Derrick Jackson easily came in and was like, hey, let me talk to your girl. Let me talk to your woman. Let me talk to your wife. And he was easily put on a pedestal. And then what happened was, when the situation happened with him and his wife, it was like, well, I didn't want to be on a pedestal. I'm just a regular everyday guy. So do you blame the person that got put on the pedestal, or do you blame the people that put them on a pedestal? Are our expectations too high? Do we demand too much from black men? Do we demand too much from black men? What do you guys think? I know a lot of people at work right now, whatever case it be. So, I'm sure on the replay you guys will catch this. But I think that's a great question. It's a legitimate question. Look at my little glove, taking stuff out the bacon off the oven. I think it's a legitimate question, and I'm like I said, I'm gonna tag a few people because I would love to hear their feedback on this. Because I think that's a part of the problem. I think that we are so accustomed to waiting for a savior. We're so accustomed to waiting for someone to champion us. And I think that we put people in positions that, to be honest with you, they're not fit to be in those positions. They're not, their opinion did something for our heartstrings. Their tenacity and motivation, courageousness to speak out, or the ability to blurt out some things that we feel that we can resonate with. And that's what it is. It's a moment. It's a moment, and we sometimes embellish in that moment far too long. We take instead of saying, okay, this is the season for this moment. What we want to do is stretch it out. We want that high all the time. We want that expectation all the time. We need that all the time. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Some people get burnt out. Heroes get burnt out. Champions get burnt out. Courageous people get burnt out. Good-hearted people get burnt out. And I see a lot of burnt out leadership. I see a lot of people that probably wouldn't have mind if they stayed in that season to champion that season. They wouldn't mind talking about racism. They wouldn't have mind talking about mass incarceration. They wouldn't have mind talking about it. But when the standard came and the expectation came to keep them talking about it, to keep them on track, I think they got frustrated. And I think when you get frustrated about being a leader, about being a role model, about being a provider and a protector, as a man, I think that it does something to your psyche, and you get disgruntled about your responsibility. You get disgruntled about your situation or your status. And it's almost like, who do you get disgruntled about? You get disgruntled at the people who put you in that position. You get disgruntled at the people. Like, why did you put me in this position? I don't want to be your leader. I don't want to stand in front of no. I just want to give my opinion and be left alone. I'm just a regular person. You ever hear that? Like somebody, I'm just a regular person, everyday person. Well, that's a clear sign of, hey, I'm waving a white flag. You know what I'm saying? This status, this position, where you put me, I don't want to be here. I just want to sit over here and enjoy whatever it is that I enjoy in my leisure. It's almost like you got to check the resume. Check your resume. And a lot of times you look at people and you say, that's the person I want to be in charge. That's the person. And we used to do that in the military, right? Here's the thing. We say, okay, hey, you in charge. You're in charge. Okay. You got the rank. You should know how to lead, right? But that's not always the case. You got the rank. Okay, you look the part, but that don't mean you have the experience. That don't mean you have the know-how. And we get this impression that, okay, well, you got this status, you should know how. Right? You talk the part, so you should know how. You look the part, so you should know how. And us as people have to do a better job at vetting our leaders, a better job at electing the people that's going to speak for the people. And then what is it that we want the message to be? What do we want the message to be? Because here's the thing. If we start off saying, okay, we want to talk about black on black crime. We want to talk about mass incarceration. We want to talk about single parent households. We want to talk about co-parenting. We want to talk about love languages. We want to talk about credit. We want to talk about traveling. We want to talk about buying homes. We want to talk about self-care and self-awareness. Then we need to elect someone that does those things. We can't just say, well, you know what? Let's see here. You wear glasses. You're it. Tag, you're it. You like to play basketball. Tag, you're it. No, not if you want that person to be successful. Not if you want that person to stand the test of time. We have too many expectations for people that don't want the responsibility of those expectations. And that's my message to the Black Rabbit. I think we place expectations on somebody that look like they have potential, but they don't have the experience. But we want them. We can't make people be leaders. You can develop them. Yeah. I'm talking to y'all. My bacon crispy as hell. Who want to see some crispy bacon? I gotta make some more bacon. That shit crispy as hell. Jesus Christ. Messing with y'all, man. I'm in the conversation and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show y'all. This will be a good YouTube thing. Hold on. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Can y'all see this shit? What's the expectation? Let me make some more bacon. Stop tripping with y'all. Hold on. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I appreciate y'all hitting the like button. But as I make some more bacon, because obviously I burnt that, or it's crispy. I don't like mine that crispy. Okay, I don't like my bacon that crispy. But how many people think that's a realistic thing? Like I said, I'm gonna tag a few people because I wanna find out. You know, I think that I always hear like we tell these leaders, oh well, you started this way and this, that, or you should be, and it's like, what if they never wanted to be in a leadership position? What if they just wanted to talk shit? What if they just wanted to give their perspective? What if it just happened to be the right place at the right time and that shit went viral? What if? What if at the right time, at the right place, I said something and the shit went viral and now all of a sudden now I become the centerpiece for the Black community? I need to speak out against this. I need to speak out against that. Like on Facebook, I was talking about the Montgomery brawl or whatever. There's a lot of people who got behind that or whatever case may be. But does that now make me have to say, oh well, now I want to talk about racism and now I need to talk about? You don't listen. We have to stop it as people putting people on pedestals and just accept them for what they are. Doesn't matter the status. What it matters is, is that something you want to do? Are you interested? Let people apply for the job. That's what I'm saying. Let them apply for the job. Don't just put them in a job and they don't know what they're doing. Okay, you don't go from working the fries at Chick-fil-A to now you're the manager. Oh, you're the manager now. Well, hold on, it's levels to this shit. It's levels to this shit. You can't just jump up to be the manager. You got to train people. And I'm gonna be honest with it. Us as a Black community, we don't do a good job at training people, at getting people ready for shit. We expect people to know, right? We expect people to know, and that's the problem. Just because we put you in a room, we put you in a suit, and we put you at the table, don't mean that you're ready for the conversation. Let me get this bacon in the oven. Y'all burning bacon on there, looking like an amateur, messing with y'all. You know, looking like actually. But how many people think that we as Black people we do too much? Try to put people as the spokesman for the community. Charleston White, Hassan Campbell. Oh, you're going to be the spokesman for the community, right? But why? Like I heard Hitchbox say, the Black Rabbit, I heard him say like about shock jocks and stuff like that. And it's like, well, you know, that works for some people. That works for some people. That's a go-to for some people. The issue is that standing behind people who promote racial divide is a dangerous situation. You know, there are a lot of people out here doing a lot of things, right? We've got access to all types of information. And these people can appear at your home. These people can salute. I see you in the building. These people have access to all types of information. And what you don't want to do is put your family at risk. You don't want to put yourself at risk, your friends at risk, your colleagues at risk, because you're online promoting this shock jock attitude, right? This, let me talk about Asian babies and let me talk about Jews and let me do like that. Sometimes you can go too far. And I think that people don't understand that, it's like this. We put our knight in shining armor in the front. You say, hey, you're going to speak for us as the black community. Yeah, we're going to get behind you. And then they say all of these dark things. They say all of these dark things or whatever case it be. But we still got them speaking for us. We still got them speaking for the community. But you're saying and doing all of these dark things. People probably going to shy away from you for that. People probably going to look at you sideways for that and say, is this your best representation? And then who do you represent? What black people do you represent? Because if that's the person you rally behind, that's the person the go-to, that's the person you share, you vent, you promote. If that's who you rally behind, because I had somebody in the comments say, all the work that Charleston White does in the community. That's great. That's awesome. But guess what? There are Caucasian kids in those communities too. There are Asian people in those communities too. So how do you go to a school and say, hey, I'm here to talk to the kids about staying out for drugs and staying out of jail or whatever case may be? Do we tell all of the Caucasian kids to leave the room? Do we tell all the Asian people, hey, you got to leave the room? So we promote a certain level of hatred, and we call it comedy and entertainment on YouTube. Why is that? Shannon B says, shock jocking and outlandish talking points is what's making the money. You're exactly right. Great point. Great point. And I said in another video, if y'all didn't see that, go check it out. I think it was What Changed You. I think it was. But it's making the money. That's what our kids are looking at. That's what our youth are looking at. Like, hey, I want to be like Charleston White. I want to be like a Hassan Campbell. I want to be like this. And the thing about it is, how long do you think the shock jock thing? Everybody that's been a shock jock has been confronted. There has been something where there was a moment where things could have went extremely bad. But for those people that believe, by the grace of God, by the stroke of luck, it just happened to be a policeman there. Things didn't pan out the way it should have panned out, and you just happen to live, right? Why test your luck for a couple dollars? For a couple dollars. And see, here's the thing about it is, it's just like life, right? It's hard to tell people who's making money doing something to stop what they're doing unless you have something else to put in place. That's just like the drug game. Hey man, look, I got to pay this rent. Mom's behind. I got to get this, this money for school clothes. I got to do da. Hey, you can get on here all day and preach about, hey, we should be positive. Oh yeah. Is that putting money in my pocket? And that's why I kind of look at what the other content. I appreciate y'all hitting that like button. I appreciate that. That's what I kind of look at with the other content creators. Like when I reach out to my brothers, I say, hey, yo, bro. Yeah, I know y'all beefing, but hey, I ain't worried about all that. But let me holler at y'all for a minute. It's like, yo, but I'm making money doing this. That's why I keep on going at this person. That's why I keep saying this about this person. That's why I'm doing all the research on this person, because I'm making money. They like this. They keep coming back. So who am I to run up on Charleston White and say, yo, bro, that shock jock, man, you messing up the youth. You messing up the youth. And then you got people in the comments that are saying, well, it's okay that he does the shock jock thing and promotes a little racism every now and then, right? Because he do stuff at the school. What? Let me ask you something. Let me ask you guys something, right? hold on, wait, hold on. Let me ask you something. How long? How many good deeds do I need to do to surpass the negative deeds that I do? Like, how long do I need to talk positive before I can say one thing negative? Somebody give me a diagram, a map on that. Like, I can get on here and I'll say all white people, right? But as long as I say something positive about, I guess, whatever, I can say something extremely negative. These are extreme things. That's what shock jocks do. I'm gonna say something extreme. And then you got kids sitting back talking about, yeah, because there's always somebody that wants to top that. So now you go from no Asian people allowed to eat at Popeyes, no more. Hold on. Now you got somebody that need to top that, right? So what they say is, oh, any Asian people that want to come to Popeyes, beat them up. You got somebody that want to top that? No. Any Asian people that come to Popeyes, don't beat them up at Popeyes. Follow them home and beat them up. You see how that goes? That's the level that's the thing that we're dealing with right now. When we advocate for people to say, we want our white knight. We want our champion to speak for us as black people. So, of course, it's a few black people. It's like, I ain't with that shit, right? So we want our white knight. And that's are our expectations for black men too high? That's the more of this thing. Get some people up in here. Are our expectations too high? Does anything go? Once we champion you, we put you on that status, we put you on that pedestal, do we now say whatever you feel as our champion, as our white knight? You can say whatever you want. You can talk about kids, you can talk about adults, you can talk about the government, you can do whatever you want to do against somebody. We'll turn a blind eye. Even though we know that morally it's wrong, we know that it sounds crazy, but as long as you did a couple things in the community, we'll let you go. Right? As long as you got a couple hundred subscribers, we'll let you go. As long as you make us laugh from time to time, we'll let you go. Hell, as long as you're black, we'll let you go. Are our expectations too low for black men? Let's get into the real conversation. Are expectations too low for leadership? Are expectations too low for providers, protectors, and role models? You just get in the door. You got a penis, you made it. Good job. You're a content creator. Good job. Okay. Now, the Black Rabbit did a interesting job at kind of breaking down and going into certain things or whatever case may be. But this is my message to him and to other people, whatever case may be. Salute. Taz Ivy says 5 positive things to 1 negative thing. Gotta do 5 to 1. 5 to 1. Going 5 to 1. 5 to 1. Yeah, okay. Black people don't have expectations. Black folks' entire existence is based on entertainment. You know what, man? I keep hearing that word entertainment. And it's like entertainment for some reason is disrespectful. Entertainment, some reason, is put under the category of belittling, bashing, exposing, degrading, dismantling, corrupting, bashing. Like for some reason, that word entertainment is huge nowadays. Like we use that as a safeguard for anything that we do that hurt other people, that embarrasses other people. It's just entertainment. It's funny. It's funny for their kids or for their colleagues or for their family members to come to social media and see what's being done to them. It's just entertainment, y'all. It's funny. But when we talk about leadership, why is our leadership always kind of counterproductive? Why is our leadership not actually leading people to like betterment? And I told y'all before, like I I don't even like, because I don't like the way people have manipulated the word, but the word is still, I said I weaponize my positivity. But for some reason, people use the word positive and they've put it in the middle of this bullshit pie, this bullshit sandwich. And it's like, yeah, this positive, fake positive. Fake positive or real negative. I think that the Black Rabbit, you use some terms that kind of like got me on the edge of my seat, and I want to tackle this the correct way. Let me put it. Hold on for a second. Put this bacon on here. You guys can still hear me, so I want to tackle this the correct way. I need this. When you talk, hold on, you guys. I want you guys to see my face. Look, when you talk about positive, when you talk about men working together, stuff like that, or whatever it can mean, be mindful that you have to be cautious with the audience that you're addressing, right? Me personally, I don't have any ill will or discontentment for nobody. I just don't. You know what I'm saying? If you said something negative, you said it is what it is. This is where I am, and I know who I am. The issue is that if I want to just say I want to do a live interview, like a lot of people want me to do live interviews, one-on-ones with certain people or whatever case may be. A lot of people want me to do another interview with Kwame Brown. I've heard some Armando Black, T.Y. Like they want me to sit down with certain people and have a one-on-one or whatever, and it'd probably be cool. But what I can't do is I can't take two people that's beefing. I'm trying to use examples so y'all guys understand. I can't get between two people that's beefing and then say I'm all about positivity, but I only speak on what these people are doing. I never speak on what these people are doing. That's not positivity. That's you. We're using the words. We're using those words, but we're only tailoring it to dismantle or focus our attention on one side of the thing. And that's not, to me, that's not how positivity should work, right? What I would want these males or females or these adults to do is to say, hey, I understand that there may be a situation, but what I really want to talk about is the real issue. Whatever issues y'all have, hey, y'all go ahead and have it and do what you got to do. But the real issue is, and one of the issues that I brought up was, I was talking to a group of young men, and those group of young men were saying, we don't have role models, especially not online. And what I mentioned was, I said, I wish that I had 10 people, because I'm sure right now we can rattle off 10 people, right? 10 content creators that I wish I could take their page, forget one video. I wish I could take their channel and say, check this out. Check this out. This is a great example of for your development. But what happens if I give them a Charleston White page? What happens if I give them a Hassan Campbell page? Right? What am I teaching them to do? What role am I teaching them to follow? I mean, it's the same thing with Cynthia G. I mean, it's a lot of people, but what am I telling them is okay? Case in point, you remember the baby video Shake? I don't know how to dance with a lean. I like that video. I thought it was dope as hell. But why them kids up in there? Y'all ain't never think like, why these kids up in here? What with all of this gyrating going on? Why these little boys and little girls up in here? And then we wonder why our youth is is growing up so fast? Why they're speeding towards a destination, and then we like, well, why is she pregnant in high school? Hell, why is she pregnant in middle school? How you had 2 babies in high school? What is going on? What is going on? We're teaching them sexuality. We're our children are not even debating whether they want to go to college or not. That's not even a big thing no more. They're debating the males are debating if they want to be females. The females are debating if they want to be males. That's what's going on now. That's what the new fad is. Damn. I listened to a content creator say, I would rather for my daughter to sleep with and young daughter, I would rather for my young daughter to sleep with a boy in my house than to go to his house and sleep with him. I think they're like 13. Let me ask y'all guys a question. Who wants to hear that their 13-year-old child is having sex? Who wants to hear their 13-year-old child debate if they want to be a transgender or not? Society has made these societal norms, the conversation normal. Like it's everybody doing it. I once heard a 16-year-old girl say, hey, I'm bisexual. But they're a virgin. How you bisexual and you a virgin? Let me ask you guys a question. Can you be bisexual and not having sex? Like if you're a virgin, can you say I'm bisexual? Or do you need the act with the title, or can you just have the title without the act? I'm kind of curious on that. I don't know. I need somebody to kind of educate me on that, or whatever case may be. But again, whether it's a shock jock or whether it's somebody that we kind of good morning. Because sexuality is not a sex, it's about attraction. Okay. All right, I appreciate that. So maybe you can be bisexual. If you don't need the action and you just use the title. I got you. Hold on, let me view the message. Let me show that. Sometimes, if you guys don't know, appreciate it. Sometimes the YouTube holds messages and you have to, unblock it or whatever case may be. But yeah, okay. So it says you can't be a bisexual virgin. Well, some people saying, hey, it's just the title. You don't need to act. So I was just shocked to hear the comment. I'm sitting there, you know what I'm saying, as they're having a conversation. And it was like, how you bisexual? You a virgin? Like, what? Didn't make no sense to me, I'm gonna be honest with you. But are we putting too much expectations on black men? There was a lot of people who had this expectation of Kwame Brown. A lot of people, you know what I'm saying, that thought that, hey, he was talking about this, that, and the third, and now he's talking about this, that, and the third. And it's like, well, my thing about it is our expectations for what he should be doing too high? Salute. I see you. Is our expectations for what Kwame Brown should be doing too high? I think a lot of people kind of see it as like, okay, well, hey, you was an NBA, you was in the NBA, you did X, Y, and Z, yada yada, and now you're on YouTube, and it's like you're accessible, and it's like, okay, since you're accessible, since you have a voice, you have some type of status, we as the people kind of say, okay, cool, this is somebody we can kind of put out there. But again, when you take frustration, you take a concern that you've had for your career and you voice your opinion, it's a lot of people's like, yo, yeah, I can feel that. I understand that. Yeah, you did. Da, 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 da. And by the way, Kwame, won't you talk about racism? Won't you talk about trading and coding? Like it's like now the expectation for what he needs to be doing is higher. We expect you to do more. And it's like I even asked myself this. I said, damn, was that fair? Damn, was that fair? Real, I'm just being real. Like I was like, well, maybe our expectations for these black men were too high. Maybe he just was venting. Hey, shit, goddamn, I done been through some shit. Y'all just don't know about it getting, you know what I'm saying? It's like somebody venting shouldn't be put on a pedestal. Somebody with a perspective about a certain situation shouldn't be put on a pedestal. And I think that's what the Black Rabbit, when he was talking, that made me think like, we put people on a pedestal because they had an opinion. We put people on a pedestal because they was venting. They didn't sign up for it. Yeah, want to be a leader in the black community. I want to start talking about serious topics. Yeah, come on. But again, we could placate a little bit. Sometimes you just like, okay, yeah, hey, you know, why I'm up here, why I got the microphone, why I got my 5 minutes of fame. Let me talk about this and talk about that. So sometimes we ourselves can be our own worst enemy. Or sometimes we can be our own worst enemy, but it's about consistency. And when you lose that consistency, you lose that tenacity to say, let's talk about moving straight ahead versus, you know what I'm saying, doing a lot of downward spirals. You definitely look at it differently. And I can understand why people would be like, okay, yada, 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 yada. I feel like this, I feel like that. Everybody, and something else you said, Black Rabbit, I wanted to tell people. Let me say something. Everybody voice matters. I don't care. I don't care if your credit score is 300. I don't care if you homeless. I don't care if you were addicted to drugs and alcoholic, single parent household, lack education. Everybody's voice matters. If you can hear me right, hit the like button. Let's stop. If you believe that everybody's voice matters, please hit the like button. You don't have to what they say, ghost watch over here. Come on in. Everybody voice matters. And I think the problem is when society tells you if you don't have a degree, you're not important. If you don't have a brand new car, you're not important. If you're not married, you're not important. If you don't have a career, you're not important. Society does a great job of keeping you at a level of understanding where, well, if you don't have X, Y, and Z, your voice don't matter. And that's dangerous because a lot of you all have I used to say this a lot, good damn common sense, but you don't use it because it's somebody over you or some organization over you that says, well, if you ain't got what we got, you don't matter. You're not important. And those are the things that we need to shed. Those false realities or false statements or false narratives, we got to share those things because there are people that are actually watching us, whether it's one person or 1 million people. So that way, here's the thing. That's how you find your true leaders. You ever heard somebody say that's a natural born leader? That's how you find now, leaders can definitely be groomed. Leaders can be made, right? There are natural born leaders out there. And the fact of the matter is because we yearn to have our community heard, we put people in position. Sometimes we put the loudest one in the room in the front. They will go, hey, I'll put you in the front because you can curse somebody out. I'll put you in the front because you can joke real good. I'll put you in the front because you're light skinned. I'll put you in the front because you got dreads. I'll put you in the front because you're from this state. I'll put you in the front. We put people in the front to speak for us because we just had a good feeling they had the potential. They just ain't had the experience. So now you in the front, you got the microphone, you just said a couple things. First 5 minutes, you was good. Now people really listening. Now people's expectations of what you should be doing and saying, now it's at an all-time high. And that could be frustrating when you ain't got the experience. That's like going into the gym and you don't know how to lift the weight. It looked good. You came in there, you look good. You look like you was healthy, right? Got up under that weight. It's like, it's too much for me. Wait a minute. Before you even got on the bar, you was walking around talking shit and pointing and shit. Yeah, you know how it is. I'm up in here. It's about to go down. Wait, pick it up, no problem. And then you got up under the weight and people like, what happened? I thought you had that, bro. Sis, I thought you had that. So they frustrated and they mad, and the first thing they do is they turn and look at the audience and say, I ain't asked for this shit. I ain't asked for y'all to put this weight on me, to give me this responsibility. How dare you? Have we put too much expectation on black men? Says stop mixing sex with sexuality. Sexuality is about attraction. I was attracted to the same sex in the 3rd grade. We really need to learn to stop putting sex where it doesn't belong. Okay, all right, appreciate that. Grooming is definitely being over. Definitely. Salute Uncle L in the building. I don't remember being attracted to anybody in the 3rd. Salute, Nikki in the building. I appreciate y'all coming through. I just need y'all to hit that like button. I love to get feedback that I feel is going to help the channel grow. Again, this is not about bashing or kicking nobody or none of that or whatever. Again, I'm going to tag a few people. So if you see some people tag, it ain't for beef, right? If I hashtag a people, you know what I'm saying? I like to see men and women have conversations to me that matter. And that's why I'm asking right now. Do you feel like we're putting too much expectations on men, especially black men in leadership, or we feel that are in leadership positions? Because when I was listening to the Black Rabbit, how he was talking, it was like the people are disappointed. The people expectations were not met. And then you got, of course, you always got to say, well, were our expectations realistic? Did the person sign up for what it is we ordained them to do? Maybe they didn't want to be maybe Kwame Brown didn't want to be the spokesman for the black community. Maybe we just wanted him to be the spokesman for the black community. Maybe he just gave off this aura and he was just talking about, he had the passion to talk about whatever he was talking about, whatever he was passionate about at that time. Maybe we made him something he didn't want to be. It's frustrating. Yeah, damn right. If I'm supposed to work the fries at Chick-fil-A, and you come in here talking about, oh, now you got to do the budget for the job as the owner. Wait a minute, bro. Hold on. I ain't signed up for that. Hell you talking about, bro? Got these fries. All I do is fries, bro. I do fries, play basketball. Fries and basketball. That's it. I don't do no budgeting. Okay, you want me to pay the people? You get corporate to come send somebody down that's qualified for the position. You see what I just did with that? That's qualified for the position. But we imagine customers come in, right? Oh, our fries are always hot. Oh my God. Oh, I just love that guy. He's awesome. Yada, yada, yada. Make him the manager. Well, that's not how shit work. That's not how shit work. If you wanted to get it done correctly, you can fill the position. You can put the shoes on. You can sit at the table. Now you got to sit at the table. Cool. The fry guy is at the table. Cool. All right. Now what? Now what do we expect that person to do? We put our expectations in people that we feel have potential. But just because they have the potential don't mean that they're developed yet. It don't mean that they're developed. It's like your kid playing junior varsity and wants to play varsity. You got the potential. You can catch the ball. You can run the ball. But you don't have a team. You don't have the team dynamic yet. It's still I. Are we putting too much on people? I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. We have to find a happy medium to be able to communicate with one another without destroying one another. You know, and I hope that the people that have this access to research and access to people and status, I hope that these people, they hear me out on this. They hear me out on this. There are young people watching our channels. I know y'all like, ain't nobody watching. Okay. Okay. And I'm telling you right now, I have 5 young men ranging around the age from 15 to 17 that said there are no black male examples online. That shit almost broke my heart. I'm be real with y'all, man. Like I'm sitting there, and I was, like I said, I was dribbling the basketball as I was sitting down, and I stopped and looked at the guy, and I wanted to say, "You shitting me?" I was mad, dog. I was mad and sad at the same damn time. I was like, "What?" And I wanted to just run to my phone and start going into YouTube and say, "What about this channel? What about this channel? What about this channel?" But unfortunately, that's the problem. Am I going to speed to Charleston White page? Nope. Am I going to speed to Hassan Campbell? Nope. So it's like, well, who am I about to speed to? Derrick Jackson is only going to give, I'm only uplifting women. I'm only stretch marks for, I only care about the women. I don't care. So it's like, who's actually talking with some balance? Who actually cares about what the hell is going on outside of YouTube and says there's some real life stuff going on out there? And a lot of us been through a lot of shit where we didn't have any, which is crazy because a lot of people growing up didn't even have role models. So now when you start talking about role models, people get offended. I'm about to piss somebody off. They get offended. You talk about leadership. You talk about accountability. They get offended. And me personally, like, why would that offend you? Why would that offend you? Because these are the things that's all needed in these communities. Suburbs, urban community, trailer park, it don't really matter. Role models, accountability, leadership, every community. Tell me one community that don't matter. Tell me one community those 3 things don't matter. Salute, Gary. I see you, Cuzzo. Says you are going to flow to what you like and dare. I say no. There's, you know what? That is a lot of Hold on for 1 second. Keep forgetting my bacon, y'all. That is a lot of. You're right, Gary. People are going to navigate towards the people they like for whatever reason. I think sometimes you guys have it confused, right? It's not about what you like, right? At this particular point, it's not about what you like. It's not about what you like. It's about what's necessary to be heard. It's about the conversation that is needed. If I sit on here for 3 hours and I dismantle somebody's past, or I talk about somebody's wife or kids or husband or whatever it is that entertainment? If I downgrade Asian people and I downgrade white people, is that entertainment? Is that needed? Imagine somebody hearing something. Imagine somebody saying, you say something about all Asian kids, or you say something about all black kids, right? And somebody goes in their pocket. Woo! Here you go. Here you go. Great. There you go. There you go. What? So when those kids say we don't have any online role models, it's a lot of people talking though. It's a lot of people talking. So how this hits home, and we talk about who we like, right? How this hit home is, if you listen to this video, are you a part of the problem or are you a part of the solution? Because those are the same kids that's in your community. Those are the same kids at your grocery stores, at your rec centers, at your churches, at your schools. These are the same kids. They represent the same kids. Why is it they don't know about you? Why is it that you don't deem it necessary in your position to say, you know what, I know that there's a bigger conversation to be had? And that's where tough love comes in. It says, hey, bro, hey, sis, I know you're busy. I know you're busy over there, right? But, however, comma, check this out. I ain't demanding you do nothing. I ain't making you do nothing. I ain't pushing you and kicking you and telling you to do nothing, right? Let's get that out the way. I'm just making you aware these things are happening. I'm doing my part. Doing my part. So when the Black Rabbit was like, you know, people are not living up to the standards or the statuses or the pillars that they've been put on, you know, that's our fault. That's our fault. That ain't Kwame Brown's fault. That ain't Charleston White's fault, Hassan Campbell's fault. It's not the fault of the men being put here. It's the fault of the people uplifting them there. That's just what it is, bro. That's just what it is. You lift someone up and they like, well, okay. You know, and then they looking at you like, I didn't ask to be here. I didn't ask to be here. You put me up here. So it's like all of this, like what Kwame Brown should be doing and it's like, who said he wanted to do this shit? Who said he signed up for that shit? I'm just being real. I'm just trying to be the devil's advocate because I feel like some of the things that we say, it's like, I don't think we take a step back and hear ourselves. Now, I don't get behind all of the beef and the negativity. I'm just saying some things we got to be a little bit more realistic about. If I put you on a pedestal and I have expectations of you when I put you up there, well, first of all, did they apply for the job? That's one, right? Or did we just see some potential in somebody? Did they apply for the job? That's what I'm asking. Did they want the job? Did they bring their resume and you reviewed it and say, oh, I see you have experience. I see that you've done this job before. Imagine me as a bona fide, certified leader talking to somebody who says, I don't give a damn about no leadership. Well, damn, that means we got to have a different conversation. Because now it's not a compliance, it's not a back and forth. Now it's a teaching session. It's a learning session. You understand what I'm saying? It's like when you talk to your kids and you expect your kids to do X, Y, and Z. Well, you don't talk to people who don't know about something or don't care about something as if they know about it. You got to talk to them as if you're teaching them. And that's a problem. We don't know pillars of leadership. We don't know pillars of leadership. Because if we knew that, then we would understand where the confusion's coming in at. We'll understand where the discontentment is coming in at. We'll understand where the lack of commitment and concern comes in at. Stop expecting men to do stuff they didn't sign up to do. A lot of people say, hey, you expect these men to be positive. You expect these men to be, no, hell no, I don't expect them to be positive. I expect them to be men. So when another man says, hey man, I got some young guys over here, they say ain't no online leadership. You know, I see the potential in you. So now I got to be realistic about my expectations. Do I expect your channel to be turn your channel into a positive channel, or else everybody going night. That's not what I'm on, bro. That is not it at all. I'm saying if I could get, let's say, let me call out some names. Hold on. Let me call out some names. Armando Black, right? If I get Armando Black to do one positive, let's say he teaching a young man how to tie ties. Kwame Brown, he teaching young men how to invest in stocks. I'm just randomly throwing stuff out here, right? Charleston White, he's teaching young men how to be a gentleman. I can take those videos and compile those videos and say, young man, here you go. Because it don't have to be all tough love. You understand what I'm saying? So I think some people, they're under this confusion like, oh, well, you need to just do it. You just do it. You just do it. And say it take a village. A village ain't one person. And say it take a village. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Obama, none of these guys did it by themselves. They had a team with them. Yeah, they were standing out front, but they wasn't by themselves. So when I see people with potential and say, man, this guy can hold an audience. This guy's pretty articulate. This guy has good research ability. This guy is pretty good at doing X, Y, and Z. Hey, let me tap him on the shoulder and say, hey, look, here's a little situation right here, whatever kiss me, and I was wondering if you could help me with it. That's really what it is. But every time another black man speaks to another black man, for some reason, it's people in the audience, yeah, fight to the death. To the death. To nobody standing. For a $10 donation. For $10, expose your whole family that has nothing to do with nothing. Where you work at, your credit, everything. Oh, you had surgery on your left toe back in 36 for $10. 8-hour live stream. $10 donation. When those kids say they have no examples online, you got to think about how a man that says, man, look, I'm not perfect, but I got some principle behind me. You don't understand how I wanted to beat my chest and say, oh, hell no. Get Kwame Brown on the phone. Armando, pull up. Charleston, T.Y., Uncle Shook, everybody pull up. These kids talking shit. They must don't know who you is. But I ain't got shit to show them. I'm gonna be honest, I ain't got shit to show them. So that's why I'm like, yo, bro, hey, can we put that shit on the back burner real quick and check this out? That's what this about. That's what this about. To be passionate about life, to be passionate. I can do for your community and I don't have to be in your community. Because if you listen there, everybody is successful, right? Nobody is having no personal problems, right? Right? If I expose you, that means I'm perfect. What we building? What we really doing? You got people that have no face in the comments that's hyping you up to hurt another person. If that ain't some damn peer pressure, if that ain't, you don't know where these people commenting from. Hell, they in jail. Yeah, kill them. Destroy them. Let me send you $10. At what point in time is enough enough? At what point in time do we stop? At what point in time do we look at it and say, man, I wish somebody would come in with a different perspective and something refreshing that I could just jump on. I hear so many people say, man, I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna stop the beef. I'm gonna stop, and go right back down that road. What'd you say? JWE says, hey, they need to get offline. They need to get offline looking for that example. Check this out. This is the reason why I volunteer at the rec center, community center, rec center. Because they're in their immediate space, you don't have that role model. You don't have that older person to talk to, whether it's about girls, love, life, whatever, business. You don't have that person. So what I would like to do, versus it just being me and my conversation to them, is introduce them to other people. You understand what I'm saying? Introduce them to other people. But you got, and when it's easy in real life. Like, okay, hey, let me call my home. Hey, y'all pull up. Cool. He said the consensus was online. That was the consensus. We don't have no online role models, right? What we got online is the baby. We got Lil Boosie. That's our role models online. So I gotta say, okay, hey, I'm here on social media. I'm a part of the YouTube community, and it's like, okay, who do I see in my YouTube community? So I reach out to my YouTube community, and I ask for help. So some people, I had the Black Rabbit, he responded or whatever case may be. Thank you, appreciate the feedback. So now I'm just like, okay, well, let me reach out to some more people and see if they can actually give these young men something to say, okay, cool. That make me proud to be a young black man. That make me proud to be somebody that it's okay to say, okay, I want to go to college. I want to go to the military. I want to start a family. I want to respect women. I want to respect myself. So many things. Can you imagine that if you took your favorite 10 male content creators and they each one of them did 2 topics, 30 minutes long. 30 minutes long. Can you imagine the impact that would do to whatever, to YouTube, to whatever sector they belong to? Can you imagine that? Some people say, hey man, tagging these people, it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. They're never going to get it. They're never going to understand it, or whatever case it be. You can be optimistic all you want. You can be positive all you want. They're never going to do what it is that you ask them to do. Well, at least I'm asking. At least I'm asking. At least I'm trying. Versus sitting back and applauding. Saying, hey, keep doing what you're doing, black man. But my expectations is much higher than that for you. We are running out of time because life is not promised. Forget tomorrow, life is not promised. And we spend a lot of time with nothing to show for it, except this $10. Shock jocks, you know what I'm saying, not realizing the power in our status. If you have subscribers and they've elevated you to a position, and you feel that if you stop and do a 30-minute video towards the youth, not cursing, demeaning, going crazy at somebody else, but you do a 30-minute video dedicated to the youth, and you say, hey, Tough Love, here you go. You show them young men this video. If that's something you can't get behind, it is what it is. But you can't say these type of videos don't exist. Tough Love is not saying he is better than anybody. Hell, I am not perfect by far. But we do try. That's all we can do. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to get out of here. I got to make me some more bacon because I burned it early. Hey, until next time, adult up. Let me review some of these Salute, not lizard. Salute. Yeah, it's been a minute, or whatever case to be. I'm definitely going to be giving you guys some more content. I'm gonna come up with a schedule so people kind of know what I'm going on. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button, bell for notifications. Make sure you hit the like and tag a couple of your content creators, the people that I don't care what side they on, I don't care what sector they in. Tag them and say, hey man, check this out. Give a reaction to this or whatever it can be, because this is definitely not to do anything that will cause any harm to anybody, right? So the reaction videos, hopefully to this, will be like, hey man, I heard the call and I'm gonna answer the call. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do my 2 positive videos for those young men, so that way we can share those things out or whatever case be. And when you do it, I'll show them. I'll show you their reaction, or maybe they'll get in the comments and do something or whatever. I don't know. So it is what it is. Salute. I want y'all to have a great day. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all the feedback. I'm about to make me some breakfast. I'm hungry. All right. So salute to y'all. I hope to see y'all on the next one. I don't know. I'll let you know when I go live. Just stay tuned. Until next time, my daughter. Peace.